how do you approach, working with someone that has ADHD and TBI?
Flexibly. Again, I'm sure lots of other therapists would agree. Often the time you turn up and you have a plan for that session, but clients may have different ideas. Their impulsive behaviours since your last session have put pay to what your plans were today, and just being able to adapt and be flexible. But also, I think we really now do have to be looking at other things that may be happening as well. And again, that's where that spending a lot of time with them and family members to find out what they were like before. I've seen all too often in the past, a goal being set for a 21-year-old male to cook 3 times a week. He never cooked a meal in his life beforehand. I think there's less and less of that. There is certainly more of a push towards really finding out what people want, and what their long-term goals are, but remembering the people that they were before are still present. Those personality traits and those values may have altered, but the core of them is still remains.
Yeah, and I think it's really helpful and really needed to remind them of that, because I know a brain injury can then become someone's identity, and they think, oh my God, I'm this person, and there's no hope. I'm not ever going to be who I was before. Well, that's not necessarily true. You're always going to be you. It's just a different form of you, and that's okay.
Absolutely. I like to sort of talk to them about, it's not a new you, it's a version 1.1 or 1.2. We all have different versions of ourselves, but and looking at sort of the post-traumatic growth positives as well, being able, but that comes later with that sort of higher level awareness.
Yeah. Could you elaborate maybe on that? Because I don't think that's something that's really commonly discussed.
No. So again, it's very much dependent on the client and their sort of psychological profile, and if they're ready to sort of look at looking at that post-traumatic growth that can come out of a life-changing event. I have lots of clients who will actually say, after a few years, it takes us a while to get there. There's still things that they struggle with, but actually it made them realize what was important, how their values have changed, certainly in terms of things like family life, or not being tied to their work or married to their work. But that comes with a lot of work on insight and awareness. Certainly trying to look at the positives early on is going to be met with a lot of resistance, of course. But yeah, that new version of self, I think, is a really, it can be quite exciting to be part of that process. And again, working with the families around that is also important, because a lot of the clients may not have an accurate representation of life before. And it's important to have that input from families.
Yeah, and the metacognitive approach is just so, it's not commonly discussed, but it's so important.
So important. And it's important for all of us. We all need to do it a bit more, but certainly, enabling clients to actually be part of that process and realize that it's not over. And that, certainly a client of mine, he's like, I will do things now that I never would have had the opportunity to do, which is, I think is great when you get to that stage.